All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Mac Yak, number 89. 11 more, guys, and we'll be in the triple digits.
Oh boy, I can't remember that many numbers.
Yeah, I know. We're going to start running out of numbers there, So, anyways,
All right,
guys,
who thumbs down us?
who thumbed down? I don't know.
Jay.
Jay probably did.
Oh, right, I forgot you.
Forgot to change it. Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Anyways, guys, welcome again. And so, how you guys been doing all this past week?
I've been cleaning my office.
Ooh.
For a week?
That means taking stuff from there,
And
down
moving it,
there, sorting it out on the desk over there,
and then putting it back.
and sorting it back in boxes and bags over there, and labeling them, and then I'm out of space and I have to start over again.
How about you, Mike? We haven't seen you in a while, man. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm here.
Thanks for the resounding.
Kind of forcing myself to stay awake. So
okay.
Well, why don't you talk about your little news?
Yeah, let's
first?
go ahead and do that
Yeah.
real quick.
what
We're all
news?
asleep.
Which?
Congrats on your subscribers, your giveaway.
Oh yeah, I hit 300. I guess yesterday or the day before. I don't
Yeah.
know. Jay did something, and and like 3 seconds later, I had 4 more subscribers. So
Yeah.
I think somewhere along the line, he's spoofing me. I don't know.
I really
Or
bad.
whatever.
were like-
I was
Call it
signing up for
nowadays.
accounts like nobody's business.
Yeah, you got those
I only got
Mac Yak
notification
accounts.
of 1 subscriber, and then all of a sudden I had 4. So.
And I have to say,
Anyway,
I
have
really
to give
enjoyed that
away
bit.
tomorrow. So if anybody's watching that did enter the contest, I'm doing it tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern time. If you didn't enter, go to my go to my channel, watch the iBook G4 giveaway video. So up until 8 o'clock tomorrow, we're gonna
Last chance.
last chance. Thank you, Steve. Somebody's got a brain because I sure as hell don't.
And the video will say 350 subs, but it's
Yeah,
actually
I changed it
300.
to 300 because, to be honest with you, I just want this damn thing out of my house. It's taking up room for my precious IBM.
Oh, speaking of subscribers there, we also are at 822 here at Mac Yak now.
Hey.
So we are still doing a giveaway too, and I still got it sitting up here on my shelf, and I need it gone to take because it's taking up space too, just like Mike's. 178 to go before we get to that giveaway. So watch episode number 69 of Mac Yak, and you'll learn how to get into that giveaway. I know, Jay, I have not seen too many people doing the magic word thing, so I'm not sure if people are actually going to that episode
Hey,
and watching.
more
it.
chances for the people that have.
Exactly.
Mhm.
What were we gonna say before, Bruce?
All I was going to say was I really enjoyed that video of Mike's with that, wacky sort of, 16 shades of grey orange screen.
Oh,
Well,
I think he's
What-
grabbing.
Uh,
Did he just fall down?
16
He just
16
flew into
shades
outer
of grey.
space.
I know, he just went. Phew.
I think there's
No,
a
they're
chance.
flying
to
shit
Someone
now.
opened it in.
See that? I just kind of went to nothing.
Oh, there we go.
Ah.
Oh, there it is. Oh, so you got out of the way so you
Oh
can see.
my god.
I
Ah.
love that thing. That is a really great little piece of history. That is.
And Mike said it doesn't hurt his eyes at all.
Well, no, that's why they made him orange.
Yeah, it's
That's
because
great.
it doesn't have any of the
It's-
blue.
Believe it or not, it's actually. I mean, it's no different than looking at an old amber monochrome monitor. It just
Mhm.
it shows graphics. I mean, I had PageMaker running on a little bit ago, running under
Nice.
Windows 2.1.
Listen, I know it doesn't run Mac OS, but I love the expandability of that thing, and I dig the orange color. I like it.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah.
prototyped a color version of one of these, but it didn't. They never made it.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's actually 2 versions of this. This is the original. There was another one. They actually did prototype a color screen on the P75, which is the 486 model, and but they never made it. I think mostly for cost reasons. I mean, this computer was $8,000. I had the.
Can
receipt
you
to
upgrade
prove
it to color?
Oh, you can display color externally on a VGA monitor.
No, can you put a different screen in there for color?
I don't know how you would. It's a
yeah.
gas plasma display. It runs on like 48 volts. It's basically the same as a plasma TV. It just doesn't have color.
So Jay, just eat a lot of lasagna and you can power the screen.
Oh yeah, that's spaghetti sauce, man.
It looks like it would, I mean, function and form wise, just kick the crap out of a Macintosh Portable.
Oh, it does. Trust me, it totally wastes a Macintosh Portable.
It's more expensive, but
Not really. It's about the same price. The Mac Portable was about $8,000 when it was in.
that's 6,500, I think.
65. Okay.
Yeah.
And that came with what? 1 meg of memory, a 20
Yeah.
meg hard drive,
Yeah.
an 800K floppy,
Yeah.
and a monochrome.
At least you got
passive
expandability.
screen.
So.
And a car
Yeah.
battery.
car battery.
And a car battery, yeah. I mean,
That's the bonus.
The Mac
You could
Portable
jumpstart
had a
your car.
little bit of expandability. I mean, you could put more memory in it. There was room for. There was a PDS slot in it, so I mean, it was sort of expandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, compare that to this. This is a 386DX with a 387DX co-processor, a whopping 60 megabyte hard drive, 4 megs of memory standard.
Hell, that
You know.
beats the Mac I had. I had a SE that only had a 10 megabyte hard drive. So hey.
Yeah. And then
You know,
I
the
actually have
biggest problem with all those computers, no Unreal Tournament, so they're useless.
it can't even run Doom very well, unfortunately. I could run it, but it wouldn't be the greatest.
Yeah. All right, so Dana did some stuff. So what did Dana do?
Ooh.
Yeah, amazingly.
Did.
Instead, I was there to see it for myself, else I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah.
Slight sound issues, but we persevered.
Yeah, well, you know what? It was, and for anybody who hasn't seen it, I had like a really quick and dirty setup with an old Mac Pro running Mavericks, streaming through YouTube without an encoder. So there was like a 1 or 2
wow.
second delay on the audio.
In other words, it was quick and crappy.
Yeah, pretty much.
It worked.
I mean, I'm
Yeah, we could
downstairs
see
and
it.
I'm taking pictures of all this cool stuff I'm finding, and everybody's like, "You should live stream it." I was like, "All right." So I tried it with an old iMac first, and it didn't work out. So then I brought the Mac Pro downstairs, and it's a 2006 Mac Pro. Which, hey, you can still live stream with those old computers,
Hey,
at
don't
least
knock
the old
them.
Macs.
I still use one every day.
Now,
Yeah.
question word: were you running Windows on it, or were you running
No,
Mac OS?
it's Mavericks.
Okay.
Still running Mavericks. Now I think when I'm going to use that for my downstairs streaming machine, and it'll be running Windows then, just because I don't think OBS. There's an old version of OBS for El Cap, but it's not up to date. It's why do that when I can have Windows 10 on the machine and I can run the latest version of everything?
Yeah.
Because
True.
you won't feel dirty when you use the computer.
Well, I used to stream from Windows, and then one of my first live streams, I'm like, hey, look, I can do 1080p video. Like 3 minutes in, the computer just shut itself off, and I'm like, all right, well, I can't do that anymore.
That's why there's 2 live streams, is the computer shut itself off after the first one.
Yep,
Yep.
we've all been there.
All right. Let's see.
It was fun though.
And Mike, you released. Okay, we already talked about that. About the IBM PS2. Steve, you released a new video about vintage Apple Surface. I watched that video. I thought it was, and I actually commented on there about I might need some of those parts.
Thankfully, I think you have all the parts you need, so I
Yeah.
think you're okay.
Okay.
But, yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Yes, I missed the premiere, but I watched it. That was great. What a great little bundle of trinkets.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be getting a few phone calls about those switches for keyboards, because I'm always seeing people on Facebook, trying to source switches for keyboards.
It's
Adrian's
funny 'cause
Adrian's Digital Basement's been looking for some, so you might talk to him.
I reached out to him. He didn't respond yet, but
Because I noticed he's been.
I picked up a Platinum Apple IIe, and it has a broken key stem and a missing keycap. So at least I have the stem part covered. I'm trying to find a plus key for an Apple IIe Platinum. If anybody has a plus key for the number pad, let me know.
Well, you know how to price them. They're rare.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that
Price
later.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw one online for $5.
Yeah.
It's just out of stock. So
Also, Steve, you were on the Computer Clan Monday night.
yes, it was.
Talking about the Apple event.
Only some light bribing was involved, so that was okay.
Ah.
So, I think We went for like 2.5 or 3 hours. I was a little delirious.
I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, nope, I'm gone.
I just went in there, gave Steve a plug, and then I left because I was cooking dinner.
Well, I was name dropping most of you throughout the whole thing. So
You did name drop me because you were talking about
every single one of you. I either replied to the comment or said, "Oh, look at so and so's comment," or I mentioned Mike's computer, or I mentioned Bruce's channel. I mentioned all sorts of you guys. I mentioned Mac Yak.
Yeah, there you go.
I loved what Bruce joined just long enough to send a super chat, which was money for Ken, but then the message promoted his own.
But it worked perfectly because straight after that, he then went and gave the biggest promo of my channel.
He did.
He talked about his video and the stuff that I'd done, and he's like, "Oh yeah, go check that out."
Well, that's because he kind of had to.
Yeah, I wasn't that. What's the word for it?
Ballsy.
That shameless.
Oh.
I said. I think I said Steve for president, and here's $1 or something.
And I said a quadro in every household.
Someone posted in the chat just a little bit before saying something like, "Oh, is it inappropriate to promote my channel here?" or something like that. And Ken said, "No, it's fine. Go ahead, promote your channel, go for your life." So I thought, okay,
Started a trend.
You know, I'll feature it. And it's like, okay, no worries. So
Well,
way to go.
you did pay good money to do it, so see, therefore, you paid for advertising. That's what.
That's what I should have did. I was trying to be nice to Ken. I didn't promote my channel.
Well, that's why I mentioned the gas plasma display, and he's like, "What?" And then he had the video up.
I seen that. He's like, he didn't know what you were talking about.
So hopefully that bumped you over the 300. But that was a fun show.
Yeah.
That was fun to be on.
All right, and the last little bit before we start getting into our stuff is check out the Mac of the Month poll on appleserialnumberinfo.com and vote for G4. Not that 512.
Okay.
Not that 512. No. Forget about that.
G4.
I voted for the 512K.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, Mike is now off of Mac Yak.
No,
No, he's
just a
still there.
ghost.
He's just in voice only. So it's a neck and. Oh, go ahead.
I voted G4 like 2 weeks ago, but then since then I'm really pulling for that little 512K.
No, you're not.
No.
G4, baby.
Should I plug in like every VPN thing I could find and just keep voting from different IP addresses?
You know, I could actually do that with the G4 too.
There's other ways other than IP address for me to know it was you.
Was it Graham, the MAC address?
I'm not telling you how to bypass that stuff.
Well, I only got like 1 billion Ethernet cards here, so do your best.
Try me.
All right.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and start getting into our topics. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and hopefully we can get to all of it. But first topic is smash that like button, as Bruce says on his show. Basically, we're going to talk about why do we have to provide a rating on everything we do on the internet today. And I think we had a little small discussion. We said, "Oh, let's save this for Mac Yak." So let's go ahead and discuss.
Yeah, we have 45 minutes slated for Bruce's rant on this.
Yes, it started with me having a whinge, basically. So, and of course, it's, I mean, I think certainly where it started, I suppose, for me, is that idea that, when you buy or sell something on eBay, you then provide a sort of rating of the seller or the buyer, depending on that situation. But I mean, it's just everywhere. I mean, whether it be phone support or whether it be, I mean, you get to the end of a Skype call and it's rate.
I was going to say, tell them exactly how it started up, because it was right after our show last week when we were getting ready to leave Skype. All of a sudden, it asked me, it asked Bruce, says, "How was your call?"
Me. Yeah.
Now, I guess here's the most important question. What happens to all those votes? I mean, I would imagine a platform like Skype probably is getting millions of votes per day. Is there some person sitting there analysing them and then acting on that? I mean, does it give them an instant indication?
I don't think so.
I think it's all hey, look, this is the rating that we got from our users, and then they just round up the number, and then they could say, oh, we got 5 stars on 90% of the calls, and then that's just some marketing blurb they shove in a
You know what
magazine.
it is there's a computer running an algorithm, and it receives all of that information, and then it consolidates it into a report and emails it to somebody at company A. Company A person looks at it in the email and throws it in the trash.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I
You
think
could
it's
swap
something like that. Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
again, it's like, what happens if, like, for instance, I mean, we're having Skype is acting real good right now. Cross fingers here. But
That's
what
it.
happens if we decide, it was all good? Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1 star.
Nothing.
You know,
Absolutely nothing.
that's what I'm saying. What is the point of it?
We have a conferencing system at my job. When we were in the building, we had these things built into the TV, and it was like a Skype type thing, but it was its own other brand. And after every call, it'd say thumbs up or thumbs down, like it was like a rating type thing. And call could go perfectly fine, but if you were really pissed off at the other person on the line, or you just didn't like how that meeting went, you were just like took your anger out. You're like, no, thumbs down.
I mean, do you think that it's just part of some sort of marketing ploy to feel like they're empowering the users to have a voice?
Probably. Like if you think it sucked, you can there. Now I know what to contact
Most
them
cases,
manually.
yes.
Well, a lot
How
of
many
times
people actually trust ratings? For
I
example,
don't.
I always go. I do a lot of buying on Amazon, as you can see from
Really?
all the boxes around here. And I always, when I search for something, I filter it by 4.5 stars or more. I want to get the best product I can get. All those reviews are bogus anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Do you leave reviews and stars, Jay, for those things when you buy them?
only if it sucks.
well, that's the reason why when, like, for instance, eBay is the place I go to sometimes, and when I look at a seller's profile, I go and look at the bad feedback. I don't look at the good feedback. I don't care about it because most of the good
That's when you get the
feedback,
most vocal.
yeah, because I want to see what happened and how the seller or buyer resolved it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that I want to see if that seller actually tried to fix the problem or not. And if they didn't fix it, then I'm going to and if they got a lot of bad feedback, I'm staying away from that seller. So I just look at the bad feedback. I don't look at the good stuff. And I do that same thing on Amazon. I go on
Yep.
and I filter it by the 1 star ones. And then I read the reviews. I actually read them because you could tell a bot review versus a real review most of the time. And
Yeah, and it's one of those things where the person that's most critical of the item, that's probably the information you want to know. Like, does this product last more than 12 months? Is the battery going to die? How's the cabling? How's this? How's that? Or whatever. And that's probably what you're there looking for. You want to hear how bad it is. And sometimes it's hilarious because you'll see one person give it a 1 star review, be like, the shipping was 1 day slower than they expected. And it's like, all right, that has nothing to do with the product.
exactly, yeah.
Right.
You're giving Amazon, you're giving the product a 1 star for Amazon's crappy shipping.
Well, I used to notice that on when I used to shop before. I was on Amazon. I shopped on Newegg all the time, and everyone would be like, "1 egg, dude, shipping was terrible." It's like you're using like UPS or FedEx, or it's coming from a warehouse. it's completely out of their control once it leaves the warehouse.
I mean, when you have to leave an actual written, sort of feedback, like you do for eBay, once you get to the point, like, because I buy stuff on eBay a lot, that the feedback that I give is going to be just from generated from a list of options that I have there. I mean, it's not going to be genuine feedback because it's done to death. You know what I mean? If you're having to sit there and leave feedback for 20 items in one go, you're not going to end up with 20 sincere bits of feedback there. And then, of course, the other thing is that they're always saying to you, "Oh, don't leave negative feedback. Contact us and try and resolve the situation." And
No.
I mean,
No, that doesn't work for me. I have to leave negative. If it's bad, if it's a bad product and I got crap, they packed it screwed up, they're getting bad feedback because I want people to
What
know.
if they haven't given you feedback yet?
I don't care.
And I love
Okay.
the bribes.
Yeah.
If I buy some, for example, this Toshiba 2 terabyte external hard drive. I've had this since April. I've used it twice. It's always connected. I've used it twice for a backup. all my automated backups fail because the file system keeps going to crap. And I spend more time in Disk Utility and Disk Warrior fixing the damn thing than I'm actually using it. So today I finally had it. I'm like, I don't want to open it up, see what's wrong, try to fix it and all that. So I contact Amazon. They say, I know it's past my return period. What can I do? So, well, since you're such a good customer, we got you covered. You can return it. So, oh, sweet. So I left a review. 1 star. This thing blows. Don't waste your money. If it's for backing up, don't even do it. You know, whole spiel. Because people buy this for backing stuff up. If, you know, it's the most important purpose a hard drive can have is be a backup. If you suck at that, you know, whatever. So 5 minutes after I left my review, I get a message from the seller, which was Toshiba itself, or some kind of warehouse, whatever. It says, hey, we'll send you another one for free if you adjust your review. What?
Okay.
No.
Well, the first
Why-
one sucked. Why is the second one going
No,
to be better?
yeah.
No, that's you accept the free one, and then you go back and you just put the same review after you get it. I mean, come on.
And I have a flashlight that I've had for almost 2 years, a flashlight. The first one was terrible, so I left a bad review. They did the same thing. Oh, we'll send you another one. Please alter your review. I said, okay, fine, send me another one. If it's good, I'll change my review. They sent me
Or at
another
least
one.
add
I
to
tested
it.
it for
Yeah.
a few months, and it was good. It's rock solid. Still works today. So I adjusted my review like 2 months later to 5 stars. Works good. They handled it. All good. And then it failed. So I adjusted my review down again. And they sent me another one. And that one, the third one actually still works today. So I had 2 dots. But before I had a chance to up my review again, put it back to 4 stars or 5 stars, they just kept blasting my emails. Please change your review. Please change your review. Here's a discount for the next one. And they started calling me. I got voicemails. Hello, this is Wendy from... Couldn't understand the freaking word of it. They were calling me. So I contacted Amazon and said, how the hell did they even get my number? And 1-star review because of spamming me. And to this day, they are still sending me daily emails and try to call me on my phone.
Nice.
I don't know where I was going with this whole thing, but ratings piss me off. And I only do it when I have a bad experience.
Well, I want to just give everybody a warning because on eBay, they changed their feedback system a little bit about a year or so ago. The leave negative feedback or leave feedback of any kind, you have to do it within like a certain time period. Like I think it's like 40 days or something like that, or a little less. Otherwise, you just can't do it. So I had somebody, they strung me along. I was supposed to send something out for them to fix, and they were going to send it back. And this is before I was able to do such things. And I got scammed. They took my money and the item, and they ran away with it. And I was outside of the feedback window. I couldn't even give them negative feedback. So there's this guy just sitting out there with my crap, and yeah, fun time. So don't let that window go. Don't be afraid to leave feedback.
And like I said, the rating system. And who was it that said, "Did I leave it first or whatever?" A lot of times, a lot of eBay sellers will not leave. Like for instance, if they're a seller and you're a buyer, you pay immediately. I think that the seller should automatically leave feedback as soon as you pay. Immediately saying, "Hey, fast."
I usually
I
get
agree totally.
get it
Yeah.
pretty
Most
quickly.
time.
Yeah,
I
they
usually
should.
get it pretty quickly.
They should, but there's a lot of sellers out there that will not leave feedback until you leave it first.
Yeah. And
And-
that to me is that's really infuriating, and this starts to become more of an eBay etiquette sort of topic now. But when a seller is leaving feedback for a buyer, ultimately what they should be giving feedback on is how quick you were to pay.
Exactly.
That to me that's kind of the gauge, but they're not. They're leaving feedback on whether you left feedback. And that's, again, that what that comes down to is what is the correct etiquette. And I've said to sellers outright, I've paid, you leave me feedback now because that's what you're rating me on. And it's like, oh no, our policy is to leave feedback once you leave feedback. And I was like, well, you're going to be waiting a while.
I love the feedback it generates. I just logged into my account, and the feedback I get is, this buyer is on fire. superstar eBayer. You know,
Well,
you
I
don't know
think,
me. Please do it.
yeah.
I'm not
Well,
a superstar.
because a lot of times, especially like Bruce was saying, I mean, when you win especially if you're trying to snipe an item, you're there at the keyboard. So if you're sniping it, you should pay right away. I mean, that's simple as that. But if you're not sniping it, let's say you uh, put an auction in and you actually won it, and you didn't like, oh wait, I won it, and you get an email later. Yeah, I can see you paying, an hour or two later.
Yeah, I think if it's within 12, 24 hours, I don't think it's an issue. Most
Exactly.
sellers don't really care. But I mean, what I hate is now they're starting to do this thing where if you go to contact seller, it asks you like 20 questions before you can actually contact them. And so I bought a bunch of these little items from this guy who had a bunch of Apple stuff. And I'm expecting you're going to ship it in one box, so I'll save a few bucks because everything was like $8 shipping. So I got 3 things. The shipping costs more than the items. And I go, request total from seller. And they go, oh, sorry, you can't send a message. This seller has said that they don't combine shipping. So I have to copy and paste what I was going to say, click back, go through the questionnaire again, ask a question about the item in a generic way, then paste it and be like, what the heck? Give me some discounted shipping here. And then hit send and then wait for the guy to respond. It's like they have these things like, why don't you disable the radio button that says combined shipping? Don't make me go through all the mess and then be like, oh, nope, sorry, can't do it.
Well,
After you fill it out.
To be honest with you, I think, and I know we're getting a little bit, we're deviating off topic a little bit, but it's a lot of times these sellers try to use the shipping charges that they charge you as their eBay fees that they're paying.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, in our favorite person, and we'll mention his name, Goldman. That last time was wanting $25 shipping on.
He ain't my favorite.
On what what was a little piece that could fit in a $7 shipping envelope. What was it? It was a
memory module.
Memory module, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The memory module that would take about $7.
$25 shipping.
$25 shipping for something that would cost about $7 to ship.
Yeah, not worldwide, within the U.S.
Within the U.S., yeah.
More worldwide,
I mean, I can understand if it was worldwide, charge that much for shipping, but that's just it. But yeah, we're getting off topic here, so let's try to get back on. So
he's nobody's favorite, but he's probably not even his own mother's favorite.
Oh, that's getting bad there.
I had someone block me on eBay from buying their stuff.
That's right.
And
you were telling us. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you've been blocked, you don't even have an opportunity to contact them to ask them why. I to this day have absolutely no idea why that person's blocked me from buying their stuff. And I have bought stuff from them before. I've always
because you didn't leave them feedback first.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just outright forget to leave feedback, and as Steve mentioned, if you don't do it within a particular time frame, you don't get to do it at all. So, I mean, sometimes I'm like, I haven't left feedback in ages, and I sit down, and I know there are some that I've missed, but as I say, I buy so much stuff that it is just, it's just a real pain in the neck.
I run into the same thing too, because a lot of the stuff we probably buy together is vintage stuff, and it's like I just got this AV input card for a 7100, 6100, 8100 machine. And I'm going to leave feedback, but I want to test the stupid thing first. I don't want to be like, oh, I got it, yay. And then, a month from now I test it, go, oh, crap, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but you're talking about your problem, not their problem.
Yes, that's my problem. It turns into their problem when I don't feedback.
I'm thinking that I may have, maybe badmouthed one of their products on one of my live streams or something like that. Maybe they were watching and that's why they blocked me.
That's their problem.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if the product was good, I wouldn't have badmouthed it. So,
I also don't like the way you get asked for reviews. Amazon usually sends me an email that says, "Are you happy with your product?" within an hour after they scan it by leaving it. It's still in the box. How do I know? And for certain products, I order a few rolls of tape. Will you rate your transaction?
I got my tape. It sticks.
It's tape. It's sticky.
Oh yeah, wow, this one's sticky.
Oh wait, this roll doesn't stick, so it's crap.
Yeah.
I bought a level 2 cache module for one of those network servers last week, and the guy, it was only like 30 minutes from my house, but anyway, I would have offered to go pick it up, but I figured, well, if he ships it, it'll be here in a day anyway. So I get it's a little standard FedEx or postal box, and I just said, okay, well, I know what's in it, so I went and put it on a shelf, and I was like, I'll open that when I start to work on that project.
Oh no.
Hey,
And I get an email from him the next morning that says, hey, we accidentally got your order switched up with another one, and we sent you a pair of glasses. It's like, so can you we'll send you a new we'll get the thing that you ordered back from the person we sent it to, and then we'll send it to you, and we'll get you a new mailing label to send that thing back. So it's still sitting here in my kitchen waiting for him to send me the mailing label.
So
I mean, the guy, he's been very straightforward with it. He said, I screwed it up, it was my fault, so I'm just waiting for that to. But in the meantime, eBay keeps hounding me every day. You need to leave feedback for the sale. I'm like, I'm not going to do it yet until I get the thing.
That happened to me. I got
Do it now.
do
The
it.
guy sent
Do
me the
it.
wrong one, and it ended up being that I got it for free because the guy was so embarrassed he sent me the wrong one, and I had to pack up the other one. So I didn't pay for it, but I'm happy to have it.
So
Yeah.
I got to mention this real quick. Madeline McAndrews blocked Goldman in the groups. So she needs to tell us what groups did he get blocked in so we could go join those.
Well, most of them he's been removed from, but the ones that he's still in, he's in Vintage Apple Macintosh Enthusiasts. I think he's in one of the post buy or sell groups.
Yeah.
But then he's blocked me now too, so that I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's
what
why you
else
just
he's in.
create alternate accounts.
Yeah, like Steve. He has his own little secret squirrel
Evans
account.
Dana.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get to our next topic. I
Faint of Bevins.
think we have really gotten way off topic on that
Mac
one.
But before we
sure
do,
did.
we hate ratings, and we hate being asked to rate. But give us a thumbs up,
Yeah,
yeah.
give us a thumbs up
If your product sucks,
and hit that subscribe button and that bell.
Wait, can we hear it from Bruce the way he says it?
Come on, Bruce.
What? Smash that like button.
There we go. We're gonna have to make that.
It's the YouTuber's voice. Hey, what's up, guys?
We're gonna have to make that a sound
Thanks for
clip or
joining.
something.
Smash that like button.
You need to make that an SND file so it plays as a system alert on like System 7.
Uh-huh.
That would freak me out, dude.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and hit our next topic here. The next topic is a pretty big one, actually. NVIDIA owns ARM now. So what is that going to mean for Apple? I don't think it's going to mean anything because Apple already bought a license basically forever to use the ARM architecture. So I don't think it really means anything, to be honest
Yeah, I
with
think
you.
it's just going to line NVIDIA's pocketbooks, but
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people have been worried, like, oh my God, Apple, LOL, Apple, now you have to pay NVIDIA. And no, they already have the license for the instruction set, and they make their own chip.
Yeah. So
They don't owe NVIDIA anything.
And here's the thing too, is if Apple thought that this was going to happen or something like this could have happened, they could have bought NVIDIA underneath, or ARM rather, underneath NVIDIA, because NVIDIA doesn't have the money to go against Apple. Sorry, but
But I think Apple would have been under even more scrutiny than NVIDIA is under now because of like, oh, well, they're going to play favorites or whatever. And everyone's going to be looked under with such a large microscope. I don't think any of these companies can do anything stupid, hopefully, with price gouging or anything like that.
yes, Scarlett, Apple's license is perpetual, pretty much. They will be able to make these chips for pretty much ever, as long as they want.
And
Until
if worst comes to worst, they can always buy NVIDIA.
that's true, and then they could just shut it down,
Tim Cook
Yeah.
gets out his checkbook. How many zeros do I put again?
Yeah.
shoot, Apple's worth $3 trillion. They don't need a checkbook. They'll just reach into their pocket and go, "Here you go."
Here's a
They're just gonna like set up like some sci-fi thing. NVIDIA's office is gonna start rumbling, and the whole piece of Earth just like lifts up. Like a big
And then they just
pod
move it to
circles
Apple
around them.
headquarters and set it down.
Hey, sorry guys, we got this.
Well,
now.
the spaceship campus will just take off and surround
Then
it.
it just sucks up NVIDIA with a beam.
But to be honest with you, I think this is a big nothing burger. I don't think it's anything to worry about because it's not gonna hurt Apple. And
Nah.
and they're still not gonna go back to NVIDIA card. In fact, to be honest with you, I think they're gonna drop AMD graphic support in the near future, especially if they start going to their own graphic GPUs using ARM.
They've been doing their own graphics.
Exactly.
I
Uh-huh.
think it makes total sense for them to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'd like competition and stuff, but if they're going to drop them, that's probably exactly what they're going to do. Their iPads have what 6, 8 core GPUs in them now. I mean, geez.
Yeah. So I don't see this as a bad thing. Just that Nvidia just spent all that money to buy it, thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to be able to hold Apple hostage, but nope.
Well, they were probably aware that Apple had a license and they couldn't touch him. But if everybody is moving to ARM, and there's companies out there that don't have the license yet, then including themselves, they will have a lot of money savings there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially if you start making a lot of GPUs ARM based, and that's probably what's going to happen. Speaking of that, I mean, since we're on NVIDIA topic right now, everyone heard about that new video card that they just put out, right?
No.
Oh, they put out, it was the 3090 or something. I can't remember what it is.
Too many numbers.
Yeah. It's funny because
series.
Everybody knows I work at Best Buy, but I've had so many people coming in going, when are you guys going to get that new card? When are you guys going to get it? Well, my store is actually closing down, so we're not getting it at all. So I keep telling people that.
You tell the guy, wait a few months,
well,
and the store's just gone.
Here's a funny story, though, is the guy comes in yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, it was yesterday, because the card came out today. It's supposed to have been out today for everybody to buy. But he came in yesterday, and he's going like, so you're not going to get it at all? I'm like, no, we're not getting any more inventory. Did you not hear me?
We don't even get toilet paper anymore.
I told him, I says, do you see our shelves out here that see how bare they're getting? That means that we're not going to be getting new inventory. What, I was like, did you not hear me the first time? I almost told him that. I said, did you not hear me the first time I said we're not getting new inventory? Yeah. So, but yeah, there it is right there. Somebody goes 3080 and 3090 RTX. But Brock is saying for $1,500 and $699 for the 3080 and $1,500 for the 3090.
And what's funny is all the Nvidia fanboys on the Facebook groups are like, LOL, this card kicks Nvidia's ass. And, LOL, this card can't run the latest Mac OS.
Exactly. You're gonna be stuck at High Sierra if you want to run Nvidia.
I get it. You got your Ryzen or Windows, whatever the hell you're running. But nobody here cares. We're all Mac users that want to use Mac OS.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, I mean,
$1,500 that gets me half an iPhone 12.
Yeah, exactly.
13, whatever.
Just give me HVAC encoding, decoding. I could care less what chipset's in the computer as long as it runs okay. We're long past the days where you need extra memory to run at higher resolutions.
Christopher goes, that card is worth more than my car. But to be honest with you, I even had one of my coworkers. He's like waiting for he wants to get the 3090, which isn't out yet. I think it's coming out at the end of the month. But the 3080 came out today, so he was wanting to. And I was like, dude, why do you want to pay $1,500 for a graphics card?
Do you remember the what was it, 2-3 years ago when the Titan came out and those things were like $1,200? Mm-hmm. What are they worth now?
Yeah.
Are you glad you spent $1,200 on a card that's been left behind? I mean, I don't understand. If you got money to throw away, it's one thing. But my goodness.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with my used card that didn't cost me $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll work better in a computer, Steve.
I mean,
no. It's air cooled.
I'm happy with my 5700, my AMD 5700, because guess what? It's supported by Apple OS, so or by Mac OS. So I'm not worried about it. The Nvidia cards aren't. So what good are those?
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, if I don't even know if Nvidia has an edge over AMD if you're running Windows or High Sierra or whatever. If you are heavy into CAD or 3D design, whatever the hell uses a lot of graphics, I get it. You want to get the most bang for your buck. You want to, time is money. You want to get the work done faster. But if you're like, oh, I want to play Fortnite, so I'm going to spend $15. No, dude, get out of your mind. Stop.
Yeah, get 2 of last year's card for the price of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
Run it just as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that what Christopher's mentioning in the chat is exactly what happened. I met up with someone recently. I was buying some stuff from them, and they pulled out this monstrosity of a motherboard with like 8 graphics cards, and I said, were you one of those people that were doing Bitcoin things like, yeah, and he was like
Mining.
all proud, and then I'm like, and what happened? You're like, oh yeah, price went up, so do it. I'm like, okay.
It now takes 750 GPUs to have half a Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then your electricity bill goes up. But
Yes,
yeah, so all these cards that were so hard to find for a while, because I was gonna get one, and I was like, screw that, I'm gonna get an old one.
And
that's
now,
what I did. Fine.
now you see all those cards on the used market, and you got to wonder, was it used for Bitcoin mining, which means that it was at full 100%
Right.
Yeah.
cycles
Yeah.
for
And
years.
some of them are modified, and because
Uh-huh.
when I was looking for this card on eBay, I think some of the people that were using these model cards or similar models did the mining, because you would see in the description was used for but repasted, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't know what that thing was been through. No.
That's why I bought my card brand new.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I spent 150 total.
Yeah.
Did you ever
I
fix that
forget
one
how much
that
you
was
spent,
fried, Jay?
What?
Did you ever fix that fried card, the one you got from Grudy?
I replaced the component that was burned out, but it still has the same issue, just fans full blast, and it's in one of these boxes somewhere.
Yeah, I got lucky because the person I bought this from, they bought like a PC that was like one of those bundle deals where you can't even build the PC for the price you pay for it, but you're getting a deal. So he got that and he upgraded the graphics card. It was like new in the plastic wraps. I'm like, okay.
Yep. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move on. I think we got way off topic there on that one, but that's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah. All right. So everyone knows that Tuesday Apple had their new event. I think I called it and said that they were going to introduce a new watch, which they did, which was very underwhelming, to be honest with you, because, to be honest with you, I have the Series 5 and Jay has the Series 5. It's not going to make me buy a Series 6 because, it shows my oxygen or blood oxygen now. So
You need more oxygen. You got to breathe,
Yeah.
Greg.
So why? I don't care about that. I don't even use the EKG feature on here much. So
Well, I mean, it's obviously aimed for people who didn't buy one last year. It's giving you a reason to upgrade your Series 2 or 3 or whatever.
But what I can't figure out, and I can understand Apple, they're keeping the Series 3 still around. So it's going to be the Series 3 and the Series 6 is what they're going to keep around.
And what is the S?
The low-end model. So
Low cost.
it's faster than a 3, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the 6. But it has most of them.
Yeah, so it's got the bigger screen, but it doesn't have the horsepower like the...
Yeah, but it does have an always-on screen. So it's sort of like a something between a 5 and a 6, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, my watch isn't powerful. What am I going to do?
Quick, what time is
Hey,
it?
as long as my watch can run Clockology, I'm happy with it. So, and if you guys don't know what that is, watch last week's episode because Bruce talked about it in depth. Clockology. So
I am planning to put on I haven't done it yet, but I am planning to put a little instruction-y thing onto the Mac Yak website that sort of explains how to get it set up because it's not that's like straight out of the box intuitive.
So is anybody else interested in buying a Series 6? I mean, I know Steve, you're still a Series 3?
I'm a 3. I actually like the SE. If I had a reason to upgrade, I would probably go for the SE over the 6 just because I don't need all the fancy things that the 6 does. The SE is perfectly fine for me.
Yeah.
But I think this will last me another year or so. I mean, I just got it replaced because the battery went weird and it was under warranty. So I'm going to stick around with this as long as I can.
Well, I actually, when I upgraded to the 5, I actually went from the very original series. They didn't call it Series 1, but they call it, I forget what they called it, but it was
0.
It was 0, whatever it was, to 5. I skipped all the watches in between. I did not go to 3, 4, or anything like that, and I went straight to the 5. So I'm probably going to do the same thing again, and then so my next watch will be the Series 10. So.
Well, I think that's what they're doing with this SE. They're trying to get people that, you bought a watch a few years ago. You don't really need to upgrade them because it still works and still tells the time, but they're trying to entice you. So, I mean, it's Apple. They want to sell new crap.
I need to see one of those charts with SE, Series 5, Series 6, with all the little check boxes.
Yeah, I know what you're
to
saying.
really compare features. But the SE, I think it started at $250.
Yeah, $229.
It becomes an appealing option for people like my mother-in-law, my dad. They're getting older. I want them to.
Have the
But
follow.
It's more for
279,
my
sorry.
peace of mind. They don't give a crap. They don't want to watch. It's for my peace of mind that I want them to wear one, so in case they go face first on the pavement, something happens.
Yeah.
But 250 is affordable.
Yep.
600 is not.
Not for a watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so not only did they release a watch, but they released one other product, which is the new iPad Air, and the series. What did they say? Series 8 or
So they released an 8th generation iPad that was a speed bump from the 7th generation one.
yeah.
They improved a few little things on it, but it's basically a speed bump.
But that
that's
one-
fine. I mean, it's always been a low end.
Now, does that one still run with the old pencil?
Yes.
So therefore, they still have the Lightning connector on it. So no,
Yeah.
no USB-C.
So the big difference here is now the new iPad Air has USB-C, just like the Pro. They don't have a headphone jack on it, so you got USB-C though, which I guess is an okay trade-off. Has Apple Pencil 2 support, and has an A14 chip, which apparently is actually not too shabby. But the A12Z chip in the iPad Pro from March is still faster than that. So, I mean, Apple's numbering scheme is getting to be a little weird here. But apparently, the A14, where's how many cores does this thing have?
Well,
Yeah, so
I think it has six cores.
yeah, so the A12 has 8 core graphics, whereas the A12Z is even better than that. So, I mean,
Well-
take that from what you will.
though they could basically be, crippling it on purpose, the 14, so it doesn't cut into their iPad Pro sales. Because I was thinking the same thing as you, is that why would they come out with this and still sell the Pro that they just came out with back in March or April? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it says the A14 has 6 cores, 2 for performance, 4 for efficiency, and the A12Z is designed for more power rather than efficiency, with 8-core CPU split evenly, 4 for speed, 4 for energy saving. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to load up web pages and apps fine. I mean,
Yeah.
the chips, they're going to name them whatever they name them, but I just am looking at it now because honestly, I'll probably buy the iPad Air because it looks pretty attractive. I like that it doesn't have the Face ID thing.
So the Touch ID in the button is nice.
Exactly.
I do dig that.
They're not going to do it, but I hope they bring that to the phones because that would be sweet.
Yeah, and admit they were wrong about the notch. And I can't unlock my phone every time I yawn, and I have to.
Or wearing a mask.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Or shaving your beard.
But
I love Touch ID.
I do too, and I wish they'd bring it back. But they did not give out a new phone. A lot of people were expecting it, and I think one of the biggest reasons why is because of the COVID crap going on right now, that the supply chain is just not there right now, and they need to wait on that. I think it's going to come out probably. I heard rumors that another event's going to be in October, and that's probably just an iPhone only event, maybe.
Well, they released 4 products Tuesday. I mean, people. I mean, the new Air is not out until next month or something. But I mean, the SE, the Watch 6, the iPad 8th gen, and then the 4. I mean,
Well, I only consider that 2 products. To be honest with you, a watch
no,
and
you got
an
4
iPad.
different models. You got two different types, but you got 4 different models.
But
So-
I just consider it a new watch and a new iPad.
but you got to think about it, Greg, because Apple wants to just, if they release too much stuff in one event, you're like, wait, what? Which one do I buy? No, they want to, just come on, just keep on doing. But yeah, there'll be a phone event probably in October,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll get a new Apple TV that's not 1,000 days old. You
True.
know?
That is very true.
I am kind of interested in I forgot the exact name, fitness thing that they're going to release. I think it's going to be
Fitness
later
Plus.
this year.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
I want to try that out.
speaking of which, you said that, and this is a shameless plug, I guess, for Best Buy, but they should pay me for this, but actually they do.
But don't say it.
No, Apple's offering 1 month of free for the Fitness Plus if you buy the new watch. Best Buy is offering it 6 months if you buy the new watch.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Well, I'd buy it at your place, but you're not getting them.
yeah. Well, I'm moving to a new store, so that new store will get them.
Well,
Unless it's in Ohio.
I don't think you're gonna buy a new Series 6 there, Jay. You're still still probably paying on the Series 5 one, right?
Yeah, I've
No
had
comment.
this for how many? I don't know.
I've had mine for
6
about a year
months?
now, so
A year already? Holy
dude,
crap.
I got this before I left Arizona, so you got to remember
Wow.
I left there in November last year.
Yeah. Well, it's still ticking along just fine.
Yeah, it's the same as
Doing
mine.
everything
Is
I
yours-
needed to do.
Does
So.
yours tick? Mine doesn't tick.
It's not
Yeah,
actually
mine
ticking.
ticks.
You gotta put some water in it, then it ticks.
I
It's
got
not
that,
actually
that,
ticking.
second dial going.
But that's the other thing they did. They released software bundles, so like the iCloud and the fitness and whatever
I
TV services and whatever.
I knew that was going to come out too, as the software bundling, because a lot of people had speculated that that's what they were going to start doing, is bundling this stuff up together. And I think it's a good thing in a way, but they only offered like
Well, yeah,
what was it, about
if
four
you
different
use it.
packages they offered on stage, or
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice that they have different packages because then it's not like, oh, I have to get the 2 terabyte one if I only use the. I mean, it makes more sense if you use at least 2 or 3 of those services. You're going to save some money. I just do the iCloud thing, so it's like even if I wanted like Apple Music, it's still like, all right, that's another $10 that I
well,
could be saving if I didn't need the bundle.
but see, I'm using Apple TV. I actually pay for Apple TV, the Apple Plus, whatever they call it, Apple TV Plus,
You don't
and
even know what you pay.
well, half time no, but then I have actually do the 200 gigabytes of iCloud storage as well.
Yeah,
So
you probably get some savings then.
exactly. So I'm probably going to look at the bundling, and I'll get a couple of other services in there, and it'll still save me some money. So, you know,
I'm not entirely in the loop on the event. Like I said, I pretty much
didn't even bother
missed the whole thing.
because it wasn't Mac related.
Yeah, I don't care. So, but I think there was a lot of focus on family sharing of stuff, like certain subscriptions you could family share. And I think with yesterday's OS updates, iOS, watchOS, iPad OS, there's a whole bunch of family sharing stuff included there as well. I do
Yeah.
like that.
Well, they had the
So
family
now
sharing.
you have people without. I don't know if that's an iOS thing or a Series
It's with
6
the
thing,
with the
but
watch
people
thing.
without a phone can now use an Apple Watch as well.
Yes.
I can say, hey, Dad, come here. Let me set up your watch for you. And even though he doesn't have an iPhone, he can use the watch. I do think that's neat.
Yes, that
Yeah.
actually is the best thing they did, because I think before you actually had to have a watch to activate it, or a phone to activate the watch, even if you had like an Android device or something like that. God forbid you have one of those, but
Saying the person who used to wear one on his
huh?
wrist.
Oh, I actually have I still have that Android watch, but it's
Yeah, exactly.
it's a
You're
fossil.
saying God forbid you have
No,
one.
no, I said a phone, the Android
Oh, big
phone.
difference.
Yes,
Speaking of timepieces, I didn't hear your clock go off when the show started.
because
What's going on?
it's not going right now. I forgot to.
Yeah.
It was running too fast, so I stopped it and I
Nailed it.
forgot to start it back up again. So, yeah.
Hmm.
That poor bird.
Plus, going on vacation, I just turned it off. So it's not ticking.
All right.
That's the thing that we were sort of talking about on Ken's show is the watches, and if are they eventually going to go like the iPod Touch, where they announced it was a big thing. Oh, you don't need a computer anymore. It's like its own thing. But I think with the watch, it's a little different because you still need to update it when it's paired to a phone and stuff like that. So it's not, even if it's a cellular one, there's still some things you just can't do with it unless it's like synced to a computer. So I think they have a ways to go on that. But
Yeah, I do too. I mean, they need to make it more. I want to say more open, where you can actually use it on different phones. Because, like for instance, the Android watches are able to be used on a Apple phone. Now,
Yeah.
it doesn't do a lot of the features on Android that Apple can do, but it still works. They still sync together. But it's not vice versa. You can't use an Apple Watch on an Android phone.
I think what they'll have to do is make the Apple Watch app that's on your iPhone, have to make that like a web-based thing. So you could use it on an Android phone or a PC or whatever, just to manage the watch. I'm not saying do all the notifications and stuff, but if they're going to want to have more people buying the watch, yeah, most of the people that are looking at the watch probably have a damn iPhone. But,
True, but you got to expand your market, and we all know that Apple's not good at marketing because, to be honest with you, Tim Cook is not a marketer. He just,
Yeah.
I think Apple has lost that touch a long time
I think
ago.
they have enough clientele to say screw Android users, screw Windows users. You know, we gave you iCloud control panel for Windows. That's all you're gonna get. Eventually, they'll come to us anyway for their phone and their watch and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, the last little bit of this is iOS 14 and Watch OS 7 are out now, and who's brave enough to upgrade? And yes, Jay, I did upgrade my phone.
I didn't add that, but it is
Yeah.
true.
That was me.
Yeah, I did upgrade my phone. Found out one of my apps that I desperately need for this weekend kept crashing, so I went ahead and downgraded it back to 13.7, which is not that hard. I mean, it was pretty easy. Um,
I think traditionally you have week and a half, 2 weeks to downgrade, right?
Something like that, yeah. But as long as Apple is still signing the old IPSW files, then yes, you can downgrade it back. But once Apple stops signing them, there ain't no more going backwards. So, but again, and a lot of people want to do that. In fact, my iPad, I've been actually beta testing on my iPad for iOS 14. So that one actually is upgraded to 14, and I'm not having any issues with it. However, the same app was crashing on my iPad that was crashing on my phone. So it is definitely something with it because it doesn't crash with 13.7. So it's got
that sort of leads right up to the next topic.
well, the topic is basically, yeah, actually, might as well go ahead and transition to that. So, but Apple decided to send out the Goldmaster the day before the event. Okay, they released iOS 4, which is the quickest they've ever done from Goldmaster to actually releasing the actual public release of the operating system. 24 hours, which freaked out a whole lot of developers out there. They were like scrambling. Now, however, they were saying, oh, we're going to blame Apple, blame Apple. To be honest with you, my point of view is that it's not Apple's fault. Apple gave...
How long has it been in beta?
Exactly. If you weren't testing your stuff in the last beta and it was not working then, something is wrong.
Well, I read something, and I'm sure it's different for every app because I'm not a developer, but there was something that they used an example of. There was something that had stopped working in one of the betas, and they assumed the next beta would fix it. And it turns out Apple's like, nope, we're just not going to support that anymore. In typical Apple fashion.
Well, here's the thing: is if you're a developer, you need to actually be up on this stuff that Apple's doing. And Apple just doesn't do that. They send out notes saying, "Okay, we're stopping this API. We're not using this API, or we're changing this API." You know, they send out those notes to the developers. So, to be honest with you, it's the developer's fault for not getting the stuff. So that article I read where the developers were blaming Apple was totally wrong because they had almost 3-4 months to get their stuff together, and
that's like the game we played a few weeks or months ago. Like, who's to blame, Apple or the user?
Yeah,
or in this case, Apple or the developer.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's pretty crummy of them to just go like, oh wait, yeah, here it is. Like, I mean, it's pretty.
There were
crummy.
a lot of people saying that it was very different this time around.
It was because
compared to previous.
Because usually they wait a week after they do the Gold Master. They did it in 24 hours. There's like that's why it was
that reeks of stuff up to me.
Yeah.
And that's what sort of, I was hoping to get into the topic here too, because it seems like some of the people were commenting, and again, just their thoughts, but I sort of agree with this to an extent, was like the software is now following a hardware release. Whether the software is tidied up and finished or not, it's going to have to go out. And it's like, oh, hold on a second. Let's get this stuff working before we just like start shooting this out here. But
I agree, yeah. But so this topic here is why you should not upgrade right away. Now, I beta test, so I actually do a lot of that upgrading, but I have a special computers. In fact, I have an external hard drive. I don't have it here on my desk right now, but I have an external SSD that I use to test Big Sur with. Okay, so I am not actually running this on my MacBook Pro. So I'm actually running it on an external drive, testing it there. So it's not impacting anything that I need, to work with. So I do that. Now my iPad is the only thing that I actually put the betas on, but I usually wait till about the third beta before I actually start doing that because the first betas usually are crap. I mean, they are like alphas. They shouldn't even be betas. They should be alphas, you know. But again, I think every one of us agree that you should wait at least a week or two until they drop the .1 update to actually upgrade your phone,
Yeah.
Mac,
I
or
mean,
whatever.
if it's a toy, like if I would actually be allowed to use my own iPad, which I'm not, I would install it on there and just play around with it. If it sucks, put it on a shelf and try again in 2 weeks when the update is out. But on my phone, that
Mm-hmm.
I need this to be reliable. No way I'm testing a first release.
Well, what about everybody that's put auto update on their phone?
They'll learn
People
the hard
crazy.
way.
Yeah. I personally, I turn auto update completely off. I manually update one by one each one of my my apps that come up because I'll have like a bunch of little updates waiting for me every day. So I go in there every night and I look, okay, oh yeah, I'll update that. But sometimes I'm look, do I really want to update this now? No, I'll wait. You know.
I make it a sport. When my badge count reaches 100, I'll just go in there and say update all.
Yeah, I'll do. Basically, I only update an app if it stops working. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm like 8 months out of date. Let me go update Twitter or something.
Yeah, no, when the app forces me to, like when I want to order my shopping online, and I can just go to the grocery store, they load it up, and I can go. They say, oh, you have to update your app, or else you can't order food. I'm like, screw you. Update
I
it.
was actually standing at the grocery store yesterday, and I was, about to sort of buy some groceries, and I thought, oh, I wonder which account I'm going to put this on. I'll just check and see what the balances are. I went to launch the banking app, and it just came up and said, you need to update this in order to use it. I'm standing there, sort of thinking, which card am I putting into this thing, waiting for an app to update on my phone. Yeah, I mean, I've got there's one particular app that I have on my phone where they made an update to it, which I really, really hate. And so did a lot of other people. They got a lot of complaints. I don't know if they've changed it back, but so I have to go through manually and update them all individually so that I don't update that one app because I like the way it is now and I don't like what they've done to it in the future release.
Yeah.
So I'm now, if I want to keep that app, I'm now locked into having to go and do everyone one at a time so that I don't do that one.
Know your problem.
Well, here's the thing too, and I showed the guys this earlier. That I can't pull it over, but my banking app. As soon as I update it to iOS 14, I tried to open my banking app, and it says, "It appears your phone has been jailbroken." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "No, it's not jailbroken. What are you talking about?" And
Yeah, they probably have a list of iOS versions, and yours wasn't on the list, and they're like, it must be that.
yeah, which is weird, but I was like, okay, whatever. You can bypass it. I mean, it says you had to understand the risk of having a jailbroke system. So that's the problem with updating early is that a lot of these companies don't have time to change their software or their
Because Apple
security.
surprised them.
Exactly. That's
But look, I'm just glad there are people that do it so they can sort out all the bugs and report them back to Apple and then release a version 1 for the rest of us. That's
Yep.
dot 1 for the rest of us.
If I had a spare device, I'd do it. I used to love doing that on my old phone or whatever. My old phone is too old to do anything, so I can't play around with it.
well, I actually have a new iMac back here that I'm going to probably be doing some beta testing on because it's a 2015, so it will support everything up to Big Sur. So
And see.
hey, it's one of those recycle free ones,
So you learned your lesson, Greg, of upgrading early?
Well, for that particular purpose, yes. But in order to upgrade your watch to OS 7, you had to actually and Apple did a little sneaky sneak here, is you couldn't update to watch OS 7 without updating to 14 first.
Of course.
Because Jay sent that to me. He goes, "What? What is this? Wait, I wanted to play with OS 7 or watch OS 7.
Yeah, I could care less if my watch as long as it tells the time. I don't care if it's a little buggy. But
Yeah, and so that's one of the things that I was like, I want to test that stuff out because I've been waiting for it. So I upgraded it to 7 after I did 14, and then I found out one of my apps didn't work. So I was like, oh, I'm dropping my phone back to 13.7. And then guess what? My watch is still on OS 7. So that was a plus there.
I'm gonna be patient and wait.
Me too.
Smart, very smart.
Yeah, until I start showing Jay, hey, look at this feature my watch can do here. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
To be fair, man, after the novelty wore off, I only use this for sleep tracking, and when I work out or go for a walk. You know, the activity
You don't
stuff.
actually use it for
Apart from
time?
that, I don't even look at it.
You don't look at it for time?
No, dude. 10 plus years I've been pulling this phone out of my pocket to check the time, and I'm still doing it even though I got a watch on.
I use mine for the time a lot. What I hate is sometimes I'll go to raise my watch, and I'll get like a notification from like an app or a messenger program or whatever, and all the notifications are tiled, but there's a spot for the time in the top right corner. They just don't put it there, and I'm like, yeah, okay, what time is it? Yeah, no, all right, I hit my stand goal. Okay, what time is it? Like, you just have to like dismiss all this crap.
If you can't immediately glance at it and see the time, then your watch is definitely failing in its primary purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, I do check my watch throughout the day a lot for the complications. I can show you. But I got the rain forecast, I got the noise thing, and the temperature. That's what I check all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I like switching up my watch faces with the Clockology app. So.
Yeah, I still don't have. I spent, and I did this while I was in bed, so I'm sideways doing it like this. I spent 20 minutes to create the. Well, it was extremely crappy because I didn't know what I was doing, but I got this really cool clock face design, and Crashology does what it does best. It crashes, and I had to start over. I was so pissed I haven't touched it.
I had it crash on me for the first time the other day when I was trying to import a video into a watch face. It's the first time I tried to stick a video in a watch face, and I ended up I think I even ended up restarting the phone, and that sorted it out. But it just kept crashing when I imported the video, and so restarted the phone and got it. But look, they're fairly open at Clockology that this is something that's kind of still being beta tested. You know, they're still working their way through it, and it shows a great deal of promise. I think in time it's going to be a really fun little app to have. I mean, just gives people that ability to go in and I don't know, sort of personalize that face a little bit more, whether it be to do with movies they like or TV shows they like or superheroes or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So, we got anything else on this topic, or why am I like?
Oh, the only other thing I wanted to mention was, of course, the with the event itself, the fact that there were a lot of rumors that there were going to be those little trackers being released at this one.
Yeah.
And of course, that was a no-show. That didn't happen. I mean, are those trackers? Do you think they're still coming? Do you think that?
I'm gonna bet that they are probably gonna do it with the iPhone, because maybe the iPhone has some circuitry to connect to it or something like that.
What are you talking about?
There's little air tags.
Air tags that you could put on.
So they're a
anything.
replacement for tracker or tile. They're those little things that you put on a key ring or you put in your purse or whatever, or your laptop bag or whatever. And if you don't know where those items are, you can then sort of grab your phone and find out if they're near to you. You can press a button and they beep. You know, if you're trying to find your keys.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean they do
supposed
exist
to do
now
them for a while or something.
Yeah.
Well, they're called tiles. I mean, that's the name of it, is tiles.
The very first ones that came out were tile, and the main thing with the very early tiles is they didn't have replaceable batteries, so that once the battery went flat, you actually had to take it back and get a new one. Then there was another one, Tracker. I think it was like
Tracker Bravo.
Tracker or something. Yeah, and they had replaceable batteries in them, and I mean they when they work, they're really, really handy things. You know, you got your keys somewhere and you can press a button and your keys will beep so you can find them, or you can sort of use a locator app. And if it's flipped around the other way, if you've got your keys and you can't find your phone, you could press a button on the little tracker and it would make your phone go off. So that that worked really well. But the problem I had with them was, number one, they sometimes would just, for no explicable reason, just not, they would lose their sort of link, and so you'd be pressing the button and they're not, and the keys aren't going off. Whether, I don't know, what the fault was. And then the other is, of course, the fact that the batteries always tend to go flat just at the time you need them. So
yep, that's exactly what happened to me. Every single time I lose the keys and I'm like, the battery's dead. And the one thing I did like about, I think it was the tracker one I use, I think they all do it, but they have sort of like a crowd notification thing of like, oh, you left this at a location that is out of the Bluetooth range or whatever. And that saved me once, but that's the thing. Sometimes they just disconnect from Bluetooth and you just can't find the darn thing. And then you can't connect to it because the battery's low. So hopefully Apple's will have a rechargeable solution or something like that.
I hope so. I mean, because you got to have some way to recharge it, but then it's going to be like, oh, you got to put it on a Qi charger for like
well, that's the
every
thing.
day.
Apple didn't have their charger released yet.
Oh!
So they can't sell the stupid
That's
thing.
another thing with the watch is that it's not coming with a charger now.
Well, not the USB thing. You got the cable at least.
Huh?
But...
What do you mean, the little USB charger?
Yeah, it comes with the cable.
I thought the
but
cable
not the brick.
wasn't coming with either.
No, because that's the only
It'd
way
be
you can
pretty
charge
pointless
the
without the cable. Let's
But-
face it.
But see, the reason why I'm almost okay with that is like it's only 5 volts or whatever, so or 5 watts,
Well,
whatever it is.
dude, I've got like
It's-
10 of those little things sitting in my drawer down
well, that's
here.
the thing. I mean, if you sell an iPad without the charger, it's going to take you night and day to charge that stupid thing up over a standard USB port. But at least the watch is low enough that you don't have to worry too much.
Yeah, true. But I have tons of chargers because every time I do sell an iPad, I don't supply the charger because I like to have those handy. You know what
You
I'm
got a
saying?
whole drawer full.
Exactly. I have spares.
Yeah, same here.
You
Been
got.
collecting them for years.
You cannot have enough spare, chargers.
I still have one I had to bring to the store because it's defective with the metal. Apparently, like the metal could fall off in the socket or something like that.
Wow.
There's that recall
was-
that's still going on.
Yeah, there was a recall on some of those, wasn't there? Yeah, I've got a
And
couple
if
of
you don't
those
have the
as
little
well.
green dot, it's not good.
That's the one I have. No green dot.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
Rare.
All right, guys.
Priced accordingly.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next topic is what were they smoking? And this is provided by Dana, so I'm going to throw it over to Dana real quick.
Oh, mine first. Well, that one, the iMac G4, Trina posted that on Discord this week, and
Give me a link.
can you see it? It's on the
I want a
stream.
No.
I want to.
I didn't have a link. It was just a
just an
Facebook
image.
marketplace, and so I just took a screenshot. But if you're watching the stream, he's got it up on the stream. It looks like a 15 or 17-inch iMac G4, $1,000 Canadian.
Yeah, that guy's smoking some
Wait,
serious.
missing keyboard, but the keyboard's in the damn picture. Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Smells like keyboard.
It's not. That's not the keyboard you see.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping that. I still want
I
the
think this
1,000.
one is smoking the rotten
burned the keyboard.
speaker dust.
I think he's smoking the not the speaker dust, but the pro speaker plastic.
It's adjacent.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said the dust.
Well,
It
those
melted
covers
down the
that fall
keyboard, and you're
apart.
smoking the fumes from that.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's not there.
That's why
That's
it's
why
not
it's
there.
no
There you go.
He smoked it.
All right.
Quite absurd.
So the next one here is another one that Dana provided me with. So go ahead and talk
Yeah.
about that one.
So this is one that I saw this morning when I woke up. I was looking at Facebook, as you do, and it was in one of the Facebook groups. Mac Pro 13-inch unibody 2009, $400.
Perfect.
Wow.
To be upgraded.
Yeah, and it's stock. It's like there's 4 gigs of RAM in it. It's a 256 meg GPU, and it's the GeForce 9400M, which like you can fry an egg on the top of that machine.
Well, there's a person selling one almost the same here in my area. It's almost the same, and wanting the same exact price, pretty much $400. For
They're both smoking the same thing.
for
whatever it
a
is.
Core 2 Duo. Okay.
No, it's a DUP. This is a DUP. This one's got a Core 2 DUP.
Yeah, there you
That's a
go.
special one.
That's a special one.
Or
But
is it a dupe? They're duping you.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just way too much.
I think what they're smoking is they cook some eggs on it and then.
Pretty much.
Just
I didn't.
obscene.
When I sent that this morning, I also took a screenshot of all the comments, and there were like 4 or 5 comments where people were just laughing. It was just like, really? So yeah, I don't imagine that's gonna be.
You should have wrote a
selling for
comment in there
that.
that says, "Hey, we're going to put this on Mac Yak tonight, so tune in."
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
have been shamed.
You have been shamed.
No, that is yeah, that's no good.
Yeah. But yeah, that I think that guy was smoking, like you said, something that he's frying on top of that thing. Because I think you were right. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on since we're talking about overpriced stuff. We're going to move into Steve's archive adventures. So, Steve, take it away.
Cool. And did you get the?
Yes,
thing
I
I
do,
sent you?
but I'll put it up
Sweet.
when you're ready.
No,
Yeah,
no worries.
I'll put it up when you're ready to
Yeah.
talk.
So this came up when I was last weekend when I was going to pick up some stuff, and when you talk to somebody about pricing of something, sometimes they like to not be vocal about what the price is, and you think, all right, well, I'll handle out the details when I get there. Maybe we'll see if we could crack a deal or whatever. There's a lot of stuff, and it just turned out to be a total waste of time for the most part of what I wanted because it was just priced way out of range because the guy went by eBay prices because, of course, where else do you go for pricing?
And what do we
But
call
what these
that here?
loony people are asking on
Garbage.
eBay. We call that the eBay effect.
There
right?
you go.
So, I mean, so I was a little upset about it, as you could probably hear from my ranting voice on my channel the other day. But, I got some stuff for these guys, so it wasn't a total loss. But as I'm driving home, I just had an epiphany. I'm like, you know what? Nobody's updated one of these price guides for a while. Why the heck just don't I make my own? And so that's what I did. I started a spreadsheet and just started plopping in a bunch of details here. And it's by no means complete yet. It's a complete work in progress there. But I plan to cover everything that's at least, the last PowerPC and before that, and maybe some of the earlier Intel stuff. But here's a screenshot that Greg's showing you there. So this is for the early Compact Macs. And this is just based on some rough details of things I've seen, things I've seen posted. We have 6 different levels of pricing, so you go all the way from completely untested, damaged, all the way to like the middle is like, yeah, it turns on, but it might be okay, but it requires some fixing or recapping needs to be done or whatever. And then, beyond that is like, hey, it works great, but it doesn't have the keyboard. So like your Macintosh Plus is pretty useless without the keyboard, which is proprietary. Level 6 is like maybe it's with the box or accessories or Steve Wozniak kissed it or something like that. But I thought what was also interesting to note and something that I think is important to know for people who are just getting into this stuff is things to watch out for. So like leaking batteries, broken floppy drive gears, stuff like that. But also what are required accessories. And so it's a little cut off there on the screen. You can't see it, but required accessories. So like the 128K, the 512K, the Plus, it requires a proprietary keyboard and a somewhat proprietary mouse, although the mouse was on the Apple II also. But, things to keep in mind where if you go to pick up a computer from one of these people and it's like, hey, there's, a 512K here, and the guy looks on eBay and goes, yeah, I want the $300 that guy's asking for it. And you don't think to say, oh, well, do you have the keyboard for it? No. Well, I still want the 300. That conversations go something like that. So I'm just hoping that eventually when this is filled out to a degree, it has some more information here. Now, I'm taking this from what I've experienced personally, what I'm seeing on some of the Facebook groups, what I'm seeing as sold listings on eBay, of course, taken with a grain of salt and stuff. But I think this is something that, it's going to evolve. I'm going to ask, the Mac Yak guys, once all the products are in here to give some feedback. I'll put it on the Discord channel, get some feedback from there too. So it's not just going to be my opinion. I'm going to grab this from everything else. But basically, this is what I assess to be a fair price for something, knowing, oh, it's a Mac Classic. The SE has more expandability than that or whatever. Just from the specs of the machine, the usefulness of it, and the known issues which we know plague some of these machines, reefa caps and bad batteries and all this stuff. So it is very much a work in progress. The reason I'm showing you the Compact Mac screen is it's one of the only screens that's completed right now. So I have to fill out the plethora of Performas and LCs and PowerPC Macs and all this stuff. But rest assured, this will be shared when the time is right.
Yeah,
and so there's some blank spots too. But
you're not using like a formula as such to compare the prices between the really good ones and the bad ones. You're just doing it based on your experience of seeing these things for sale on all different platforms, that sort of thing. So you're just kind of formulating your own idea ultimately of what these things are worth. Yeah.
And I can actually trust Bruce's, or not, Steve's judgment on this, because if you look at his collection, he has got the biggest collection out of all of us. So
I've spent when I've spent too much on something, and I know when I've gotten
exactly.
A deal on. Let's just say that.
I mean, sort of a really important a point that I think it needs to be made when it comes to buying some of these things with when people are doing something along the lines of they're clearing out a collection or something like that, and you get an opportunity to turn up there and have a look at what they have and maybe pick a few things and then buy a bit of a bundle deal. When people are charging eBay prices for that situation, it's just not right. You should not be doing that. Now on eBay charge for things you sell. You actually have to pay a fee.
Exactly.
You have to pay eBay's fee. You've got sort of packing, everything to do with eBay, you can expect to pay a little bit more with eBay because it costs a little bit more and it's a bit more of a hassle. Someone turns up to your house or your place of business or whatever like that, and so you don't have to worry about packing these things up. You don't have to stick them in boxes. You don't have to take them to the post office or organise a courier or something like that. Someone turns up to your house to load these things into the back of their car, and they're picking out 10 different items. When someone charges eBay prices for that circumstance, I find that pretty offensive. You immediately under those circumstances, you've got to expect that stuff is going to be cheaper than eBay. Because if it's not going to be cheaper than eBay, I would just say to the person, sell it on eBay and walk out.
Exactly.
I mean, they're trying to save themselves from having to put it on eBay by doing that. So obviously there has to be a discount associated with it.
Well, even the Facebook groups, because it's the same thing too, Bruce, is because you put it on a Facebook group, you're not paying a dime to Facebook to put it on there.
Right.
So it's the same thing,
Yeah, and it's this. I'm sorry, Derek, go on.
No, I was just going to say that the situation that Steve was in, where he goes to the guy's place and says, I'm willing to barter with you on some of these, and then the guy says, well, on eBay it's selling for that. It's like, well, then sell it on eBay.
Exactly.
If I wanted to buy something at eBay prices, I would have stayed home in my chair and I would have bought something on eBay. I came here because I thought we could do some deals on stuff.
Yeah, and eBay,
but if that's all you want,
if the thing comes and it's broken, I'm protected. I could get my money back. If I buy this thing and I drive home, the guy could block me on his phone and I can never contact him again.
Exactly.
So, I mean, what I'm hoping to avoid here is, of course, the eBay effect and all this whining that we do about pricing, because I mean, it takes it away from the community here, and this is just a work in progress. But I have like a classic here that's like $15-20 unknown condition. Now that's a range. So obviously, if it's really beat up, you're paying less than 15 for it. If it's looks okay but you can't test it, maybe $15-20 is a fair price in US dollars. And then you go up a little bit. Let's say, it turns on, it chimes, maybe needs a recapping. I have here right now, I have like 70, 80. It's a lot to pay, but that's, if maybe it comes with the keyboard or a mouse, the power cable, maybe it's in nice condition. Pay a little bit less if it isn't. And these are all up for consideration, of course. This is just, things that I've been experiencing. And once it's in a fairly good shape, I'd love to get input and we'll adjust whatever's there.
Now, if Bruce or Steve has actually touched the board and actually recapped it, then the price goes through the roof.
Not if I touch it. If Bruce touches it, it'll go up.
Well, it's a really interesting thing. I mean, I just while we've been talking about this, I just jumped onto Australian eBay and keep in mind, of course, that everything sells for more here in Australia. And I just did a search for sold Macintosh classics, just for a little bit of a look at seeing what would turn up. Now there are probably 8 or so, and they vary in price from $77 up to $560 with everything in between. Now, how on earth are you going to work out what the right price is for selling a classic with that coming up as the sold items on eBay? It's just ridiculous. And $560 for a classic? I mean, come on.
Well, the seller made out. The seller made it.
Yeah, no, they did. And look, I should mention that these ones are auctions. These are actually getting bids. I mean, there's one of them here had 10 bids, another one had 22 bids, and they're getting up over $500 for these things.
But
And
Bruce, I don't. But to be honest with you, an auction, I would actually go with that price because that's what the customers are willing to pay.
yeah.
Okay, or you could have somebody jacking the auction up, because there's those people that do that too.
There could, of course, be that going on, yeah. Now, if I could just, this is a complete, no, I'm going off the tracks here, but if I can just sort of mention to anyone who has a Classic or Classic 2 at the moment, the window of opportunity of keeping these things going is really shrinking. The analog boards on the Classics are completely and totally dying. The leakage is causing massive corrosion on the traces of the analog board, because everyone goes, is doing the recapping on the logic boards, but the analog boards really need to be done. So if you have a Classic and you want to keep it going, please get the analog board recapped.
Yeah, and
By
that's
Bruce
the thing,
or Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. Also, you go to one of these people that are selling this stuff, and like Bruce was saying, if you go to the effort, you go to the guy's garage or whatever, and he has all the stuff laid out there, and you can't test any of this stuff, you don't have the time to, or you don't have the tools to, you take it at face value. You're like, yeah, this looks a little dodgy, this looks a little whatever, but you pay less for it. You don't go on eBay and go through this whole rigmarole.
Well, that's what you have to explain to the guy too. Say, look, we're here at your storage shed. You have no electricity out here. I can't plug this thing in to see if it's going to smoke or not.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a high risk that this is possibly going to work. I'm taking your word.
We had all
for
these
it.
conversations. It didn't
Yeah.
work out in my favor, and the excuse was just, oh, it worked before, and I'm like,
So electronics sitting in a storage shed don't do too well.
That's why I
Everything
walked
works
away.
until it doesn't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
why
how I
walked
got
away.
a blue and white display. It worked.
It actually reminds me a while ago. This is a long time ago, but I did a post on one of the vintage computer forums, and I said something like, "Oh, I had this thing in a shed for a couple of years, and I just fired it up, and it still works. Isn't that great?" And someone replied to that, "What, you thought it might not work?" And I thought, "You're new to this group, aren't you?"
Yeah, stuff doesn't just sit there. I mean, a lot of people think that electronics just sits there and doesn't go bad, but you have a lot of stuff in there, like especially the capacitors, the electrolytic ones. That's the ones you're going to have a lot of issues with. If you leave a battery in there, the battery gets corroded and starts exploding, and then does all kinds of.
Doing the reefer caps.
And the limited exposure I've had to these machines, but also other electronics from that era, is people like, oh, this was in storage for 10 years. I fired it up and it still works. That one time you fired it up probably exploded half the caps out there. Because I can almost guarantee you by the time, try it again. Go ahead, I'll wait. Oh, those people. There you go.
Yep.
The one I like is when people say, "Oh yeah, it works." When you switch it on, you have to wait a few minutes before it comes on, but it works.
That just means that the
screen is
caps are
perfect.
really bad.
There's just 5
That
little
means it's-
pixels that are not working.
That means it's on death's door.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I mean, this is probably like a callback to what Every Mac or PowerBook Central or those websites used to do. Is they used to have a running price list of their machines. So hopefully when this is done, it'll be a good resource, and we'll have a bunch of input on it. So it's not just going to be my crazy thoughts.
Well, are you going to be hosting this on your website?
Yeah, we'll do something.
Sweet.
Got to figure it out first.
Yep.
Stay tuned to Mac Yak. We'll let you know.
I'll add the pricing for the G3 and G4, starting at $200 for the MDD, because it's worth it.
I'll be Jay's corner.
Yeah.
Surrounded in gold.
All right, guys. So we've almost come to the end of the show tonight, and I just want to throw it out to everybody to do. If you want to do some shameless self-promotion, go right for it. And we'll start with Mike here. You want to go back on your talking about your giveaway, or is he asleep?
He's there. You don't see him?
Oh, I
He's
see him.
muted, though.
He's muted, I
muted.
think.
Mike!
You're still muted.
Hello.
Nope, no audio.
Hand signal.
So Mike's having a giveaway. Just jump onto his channel.
Yeah.
The giveaway will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
But make sure you get your entries
You
in
have to
before
go
8.
to his channel, subscribe, leave a comment in the video about the giveaway, and hope for the best.
Yep.
And I think he's doing a continued series on that IBM machine. So if you're not subscribed to his channel, do that.
I'm definitely going to go have to watch that video. I haven't watched that one yet. So, Mike, I will definitely go watch that one.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear
But
you.
we're already done, so too late.
That's why I haven't Skyped with y'all for a while, because my computer's a piece of crap, thanks, Jay.
Which
I
one
love
are
it
you
because he
using?
used to yell at
My
mine, and now it's yours.
my Bluetooth is totally whacked.
Is that the Mac Pro?
Yeah,
Most
Bluetooth always sucks in a Mac Pro.
ever since I installed a USB 3 card, my Bluetooth is non-existent.
Yep.
The only thing that works reliably is my keyboard. My mouse doesn't work. My headphones don't work. So I'm relying on what microphones I have here, and they all suck. My snowball just comes and goes as it pleases. It wasn't muted. It just wasn't working.
That's weird because I have my snowball here, and my black ball. It's not snowball, but it's still.
Yeah, but that USB 3 has a long history of messing with Bluetooth signals,
So yeah, once I get an external aerial for my Bluetooth, I'll have my headphones again, because I really miss my headphones. But yeah, everything Jay said is fine. So if you like IBMs, I'm going to be putting out another video this weekend. So I got some really exciting things happening with my IBM here.
I definitely want to watch that video. Yeah.
And what's funny is when I met up with Mike over the weekend, he gave me a floppy drive to fix, and the trace is rotted exactly the same spot as the trace is rotted on my floppy drive. So that'll be something I'll be streaming. But it's really funny. It's like a photocopy of exactly my problem.
Yeah, and because I'm too anxious to wait for Steve, I just went out and bought another floppy drive. So.
Well, now you'll have two. So there you go.
But this one doesn't fit right, so it's just kind of lying in there.
Oh.
But it does work.
So I still have to actually fix yours. Okay.
Yeah, because this one's for a laptop.
Oh.
But it uses the same interface, so it works. It's just ugly. And I want it to be pretty. And
so anybody else got any shameless self promotions they want to share?
Yeah, Steve's going to recap a floppy drive. He's going to do a 5.5-hour live stream of recapping a PS2 floppy drive.
If it takes me that long, Mike, I'm going to charge you more.
If it takes you that long, I'm coming over there and I'm going to slap you. I know where you live.
We'll have a little timer in the upper right-hand corner of the video countdown to Mike slapping.
500
How
people
long is it going to take you to replace 3 taps and a trace?
and watch Mike storm in there, just slap Steve. You know,
He'll just start taking Macs off the shelves.
Yeah. The only problem is you don't have the one that I want. The one that I want is the one freaking Mac you don't own.
What, the TAM?
No, Quadra 700.
Oh,
I had one for you here. I had one for you. I was at the recycler. I'm on the phone with you. Said, dude, buy it. And you waited. And you waited and you waited, and it was gone.
Dude, this happens when you're poor white trash, okay?
I have one with terrible battery damage. If I manage to repair it, I'll send it to you.
Stephen Barlow's.
It costs you more to send it to me than it's going to cost to fix it.
Stephen Barlow said he's going to pay money to
It's not that bad
see.
going that way.
was going to send
the cost's going from there to here, not the other way around.
Oh,
So-
okay. Well, I was going to send something small to you, and I don't remember what it was, but it was something really dumb. And I just a generic price from Pennsylvania to Sydney was like $185, and I'm like, yeah, I think not.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'll
sent
throw it away and just be done with it.
I think Dana
Steve, what was
shipped
that
something.
website? Steve and I found a website. It was like Package Monkey or something like that.
Parcel Monkey.
There's
Parcel
Parcel
Monkey.
Monkey, then there's Shippo,
So-
SHIPPO.
Yeah, it'll list a whole bunch of different methods, and they're all pretty affordable. Well,
Yeah.
most of them are. And then it compares it to like FedEx, UPS, Postal, whatever. And so, yeah, that would be a good way to send something there.
Looks like I have to add a new Patreon tier for somebody to come and slap me because that got some reaction.
Is that going to be your $1,000 tier?
Steve, if somebody donates $1,000 to you, you can give me 20%. I'll come over and slap you, okay?
No thanks.
Backhand.
Just don't
Yeah.
have like 8 of those iPod Nanos all on your fingers.
No, I'll just use the iPod Classic.
Ooh.
Ooh,
All right,
Is
so,
Dana going to be doing stuff?
yeah, is Dana going to do anything?
I might be.
Yeah,
I
he's
got
got
the,
a taste for it now.
The one, yeah, the one shelf that I was trying to set up instead of doing live streaming, I finally got done today. So the next one I'll be putting, yeah, it's going to be full of gadgets and stuff. So maybe
You
I'll
got quite a
maybe
beautiful
I'll do
setup.
another
Man.
one.
Very, very, very envious.
Yep.
It's taken forever to get things put together, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
So I have to ask you, Dana, what's sitting on the couch behind you?
Sitting
Yeah.
on the couch.
Yeah, there's a beige box. It almost looks like a Mac too. Oh, that's your network
There.
server. Never mind.
Work server.
I only
That's
saw
a
the
new
top
ceiling
part.
fan for my office.
I only saw the top part. It kind of looked like the side of a Mac too.
It kind of does, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. It's like you got something new. But then
Yeah.
I realized, okay, you just
So,
did.
This is going in my upstairs office. And
Oh,
then the other one is downstairs.
You need one in every room, every
Yeah.
floor of the house.
That's what I just have to find like 5 more. And so
at the rate he's going, it shouldn't be too hard.
yeah, but at the rate it's going, I'm gonna have to trade for all of them, and I'll have nothing left.
Here's my room where the Mac servers used to be.
Yeah, I got no Macs to network to them now.
And will Bruce be doing anything?
Well, I've just released my first pre-recorded video in donkey's years. I just released that today. It's unfortunately for the Mac people out there, it's not a Mac one; it's an Amiga one. There's a problem that some of the old Amigas have, and someone cleverer than me worked out a fix for it, and I've just done a video of applying that fix and how to do it. And I am still working on my ultrasonic cleaner video because I just keep getting questions constantly about ultrasonic cleaners. So I'm doing a video that explains the technology, how they work, the different types, what you should look for when you're buying one, and then at the end of the video, I then follow that up with me building my own ultrasonic cleaner. So that script's all done. I'm just going to go in and shoot it all now, so it shouldn't be long. And I will be recapping tomorrow on a live stream. And someone sent me an SE30 that they had to go out recapping themselves, and they can't get it to work. So,
Well, Bruce, you have to tell me when your ultrasonic cleaner video is out, because I'm doing one just on the one I got and how crummy it is and such. But I'm not going to explain anything, so I'm going to tell them to go to your video to find out the smart stuff, so I don't have to do my homework.
I'll have to get mine out first so that you can link to it. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I think we're at the very end of the show here, and I'll go ahead and get our obligatory stuff out of the way here. We do have a Discord channel. Make sure you go to that link there that I'm showing right now. Join up and meet us over there. Sometimes we're over there after the show, sometimes we're not. Lately, I think we haven't been, but you'll catch us there. But there's a lot of discussions going on there, so feel free to join us. It's a 24/7 server, so you can talk to all the fans that are in here and whatnot. Again, make sure you, Bruce, smash. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Smash that like button.
There you go. Make sure you smash
That's
that
why we
like
keep
button.
him around.
That's right. And also smash that.
What is it? Oh, the bell. Smash that bell.
Yeah. Well, the subscribe button first, but then the bell.
Hit the subscribe button and then hit that bell.
There you go.
We need like a big bell that Bruce rings. Ding!
Ding. Yep. So, make sure you guys hit that. And then if you do want to, remember, we're still doing a giveaway here. We're 178 away from our goal. Go to episode 69. Figure out what you got to do to get into the giveaway. And tell your friends about us. That's all I got. So unless you guys got anything else,
I got nothing.
I think we are done for the night.
I'm posting the video to Patreon, but that's it. So we'll see you guys later.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a good night and see you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.